The emotionally unavailable man is like a leech in the dating world. He'll latch onto you, suck your energy, your love, your generosity, your physical affection, only to tell you that he's not interested in real commitment. Now, this could be that he never wanted to take the relationship from casual to official, or that he strung you along for years before he told you that he never wants to get married. The consequences of falling in love with an emotionally unavailable man are severe. He can steal months or even years from your life and could even leave you so scared of rejection that you may be afraid to open up to another great guy. So today I'm gonna break down emotionally unavailable men so you can see why it's so easy to fall into their trap and how you can stop yourself from getting stuck in a relationship that goes nowhere. They have charming confidence. When you think of an emotionally unavailable man, you might picture someone who's aggressive, mean, or maybe cold. But the opposite of this is true. Men who are emotionally unavailable are not emotionally devoid. If you've dated an emotionally unavailable man, you know that they can be quite charming and loving. They still enjoy the love and romance that comes with a relationship. They just don't want to commit because they hate feeling like they've locked themselves down, and they lack the deep desire to take care of you and give you the security that you need and deserve. These guys are fine with going on nice dates, maybe sharing fancy meals together, or just spending a chill day on the couch, but they refuse to put the label of girlfriend or wife on the situation. They want to enjoy your energy, your love, your physical connection, but they want to maintain that freedom to leave whenever they change their mind. Now, the wild thing is that this can actually make them even more charming and charismatic than a man who's ready for commitment. Why is this? Because when these men withhold commitment, they're not afraid to lose you. When a man has no fear of rejection, he'll act without fear and just say and act how he wants to with pure confidence. And that's much more attractive than a man who's stumbling around nervously trying to impress you. Imagine yourself talking to your celebrity crush versus talking to some nerdy guy that doesn't attract you at all. When you're speaking with your crush, a man that you'd love to impress and get to know more, you might be nervous. You might get sweaty or even stumble on the words because you're afraid of turning him off and getting rejected. Compared to talking with a nerdy guy that you're not really attracted to, you'll probably be much more confident and calm and collected because you've got little fear that he's going to reject you. You just wouldn't care that much if he did. And that's why emotionally unavailable men can be so addictive. They're able to charm you and seduce you while keeping their own emotions guarded. They know that they're never going to surrender their full heart to you, so they're able to experience you letting down your guard and being totally emotionally honest while they keep their cards hidden and know that they're not truly giving their full selves. And this makes an emotionally unavailable man appear more masculine and mysterious because you always have that feeling that you're not really getting the full story. Let's make this easier to see using the example of a man who is the opposite of emotionally unavailable. This man is just desperate to share his love and affection with a woman. This kind of man, he'll text you every day. He'll constantly check in. He'll tell you how much he loves you and how much you've blown him away within just the first few weeks of meeting. Now, is this kind of man attractive? Not as much. He might feel too needy or clingy or just not masculine enough. He seems soft and weak. The slot machine principle. In the 1960s, American psychologist B.F. Skinner conducted an experiment that explained why slot machines are so addictive. The experiment put a group of pigeons in a box which had a lever, and every time the pigeon pressed the lever, a pellet of food would be released into the box. And Skinner then modified the lever so that the pellets of food would be released randomly. And when the pigeons weren't sure if pressing that lever would result in a food pellet, they ended up pressing the lever more often. Skinner likened this experiment to the same principle that makes a slot machine so addictive. When you only get rewarded for behavior some of the time, it keeps you addicted to keep trying the behavior in hopes that the next time you'll be rewarded. The Skinner box works by blending tension and release. The absence of a pellet after the lever is pressed creates expectation that finds release via reward. Too little reward and the animal becomes frustrated and stops trying, but too much and it won't push the lever as often. Emotionally unavailable men use this principle to keep you addicted to them. If a man didn't value you at all, you'd just be turned off. But an emotionally unavailable man will swoop in with romantic attention just when you begin to think he's not interested. Just like a slot machine, this unpredictable validation can be as addicting as a drug. Immediately going from confusion and uncertainty of whether he likes you, and then the next moment being showered with gifts and compliments. This kind of unpredictable attention is a sign that he's not fully invested, but even worse, it keeps you in his game. He brings out the best in you. One of the most counterintuitive reasons that an emotionally unavailable man is so addictive is because he can actually bring out good qualities in you. An emotionally unavailable man, he's great at complimenting you and telling you that you're kind and loving and that you bring out the best in him. And this makes it even more difficult to let him go if he's not living up to your standards, because he makes you feel really good about yourself and you don't want to abandon him or let him down. Because if you are a loving and generous person, you'll enjoy feeling optimistic about him and his life in the relationship, seeing that glass half full and seeing people's best abilities is something that you do naturally. If you're selfless and you have a lot of love to give, you enjoy giving love by doing nice things for your partner and even forgiving him if he doesn't always do the same. And these kinds of qualities are what make you an amazing, loving person to be with, but you also deserve to have those qualities given to you. You deserve to be treated with love and respect and a promise for a committed future. And when you do all this for a man who doesn't reciprocate, he's simply taking advantage of the very qualities that would make an amazing partner to someone who is more worthy of your time. Challenge is exciting. If you're dating a man who's emotionally unavailable, eventually you'll start to feel like you're carrying most of the weight. But you might be okay with this because of a lie that you've been told about relationships for years. For years, you've been told that relationships take work. They require extensive communication and the ability to forgive. You know that you have to work hard for high-value things. In life, nothing good comes easily, so the challenge of trying to lock down an emotionally unavailable man may make the relationship feel like you're working harder for something that may eventually give you a bigger reward. So you put in this effort, even if you are the only one doing it, and in fact, the challenge of this makes it even feel more valuable, which is why excuses like, I don't like labels, or what's the rush, may sound reasonable. You're willing to accept that love must be earned. It must be worked for and given as a reward for being patient and getting through trials and tribulations together. But true love doesn't need to be earned in this way. Acceptance of the other person, it's a given right from the beginning. And the bond that you share with your partner should only get stronger over time, not weaker. When you found someone that's emotionally available and ready to commit to you, it won't feel like you're constantly needing to prove yourself or like you're trying to capture some wild lion. You'll feel emotionally safe and secure to the point where you're radiating confidence and certainty and positive self-esteem. An emotionally available man will make you feel this way with little effort coming from your side. You'll simply feel loved and cherished and accepted as you are. Putting yourself first. One of the keys to avoiding the trap of an emotionally unavailable man is to place yourself as number one, which is very difficult to do for some highly sensitive people who are so used to giving to others. But it's similar to when you're on an airplane. You have to give yourself the oxygen mask first, or you'll have nothing left to give to others. In a relationship, you have to make sure that you're getting what you need, and there can't be fear of communicating to your partner what you need because you'll never get it. You have to have a laser focus on your standards and expectations, because if you see a man isn't living up to those expectations, you have to put yourself first and decide whether you're willing to expose yourself to that, to deal with that. If you're currently struggling with a situation and you're wondering, are you with an emotionally unavailable man? There's an easy way for you to figure out exactly what to do, whether you can diagnose him or not. All you have to do is ask yourself this question. What would the woman that I value most in the world do? How would she act or react? This woman could be dead or alive, someone you know personally or a famous celebrity. It does not matter, as long as you get a clear idea of exactly how that woman would act. and then act as if you're her. Put yourself in her shoes and ask yourself if she'd put up with what you're putting up with. It's that simple. I know it's not always that easy. It can feel scary to put your foot down, but raising your standards is just to do the uncomfortable action that we know in our heart is right. How to avoid the trap. So now that you know why you've fallen for the trap of emotionally unavailable men, it's time to learn where you can find higher quality men who are serious about a long-term relationship and are going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. And also how you can spot these warning signs of emotionally unavailable men. But before I share that with you, you must know you can't find these guys on regular dating apps or going on blind dates. There's a real strategy that the world's most successful professional matchmakers are using to meet the highest quality men, but you'd actually be surprised to know that they don't use this special database or collection of men that they've previously met. Instead, they learned how to source these men in the real world by finding out where they hang out, how to screen them to make sure that they're as high quality as they appear to be. So there's this secret sourcing and screening method used by these matchmakers who have the highest paying clients. And if you'd like to learn more how to attract these higher quality men in the real world, click the link below for my free presentation on matchmaker secrets, where you will learn the easiest ways to attract these men and to stop wasting your time on guys who aren't serious or mature enough to be in a relationship with you. Now be sure to let me know in the comments section who you chose as your high value model. And remember, do click that link below, check out the training, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.